everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And so if you are new to my channel, just to kind of give you a little backstory, I am very much into just having conversations with other people about their experiences, about their lives. I believe we all can grow and learn from each other. That's what I'm about. And so that's the goal for my channel. And so today I have Tanikka, she goes by Nikki, Evans, and her husband, Darrell, who goes by Tucci. Evans on with us today. And we are going to talk about blending families. So it's a really common thing in today's society. We're a blended family, they're a blended family. And so by no means are we experts. Do we feel like we've got it figured out? But we're just two couples that are going to kind of talk about how we're navigating this thing called family and marriage. So before we get into blending a family, let's just kind of get an introduction. I know I told you guys his name, but just kind of tell a little bit more about yourselves, your family, how many children, all of that stuff.
All right. So you want to go for it?
You go first.
All right. So like Tracy said, first of all, thank you guys for having us. Like I said, it's out of our comfort zone, but I mean, we definitely want to support you, support your channel. So again, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So Tanikka, I go by Nikki. My husband Darrell, we've been married for, it'll be 9 years in September. We have 3 kids total. So Breland, our oldest, is 16. Morgan, our middle, is 12, and Darrell, the third, we call him Dre. He's 8. So we're definitely a blended family. Like I said, 3 kids, can be hectic at times, but hey, it's what makes a family.
For sure. So you just mentioned that you guys have been married for 9 years. So I know we're all from Greensboro, but kind of tell us a little bit about you guys' love story, like how you met and all of this got to marriage.
Yeah. So we've been knowing each other since maybe I was 11 years old. So I was in 6th grade. His aunt stayed next door to my grandmother on the highway. So I will always see him, I had a crush on him basically since when I was in the 6th grade, had that crush. Had a crush on him in middle school, had a crush on him in high school. After high school, I ended up going into the Navy. He stayed in Georgia. We basically lost contact. So he ended up getting married, had a daughter. I ended up getting married, had a daughter. Unfortunately, those marriages didn't work out. We both got divorces, didn't know each other at the time, hadn't talked to each other. So it was 2010. I came home for a family reunion. We went out that night and I saw him at the club. What was it? 278?
No,
what was
Connection.
it? Club Connection. I saw him at the club. Yep, I saw him at the club, and we talked for a little bit afterwards. I saw him again at the store, so at that point, we exchanged numbers. We started talking over the phone because at that time I was living in Virginia. So we just kind of started talking. First just kind of being friends. Made it official in the beginning 2011. Kind of made it official. We knew that we wanted to be together. So we dated for 10 months. And actually we got engaged in October of 2011 and got married in September 2012. So a lot of people may think that was fast, being I had been divorced I got divorced in 2010. So to be married, 2 years later, people may think that was fast, but for me, it's like, I knew that he was the one, like it felt like home for me, so I knew he was the one. So, yeah.
Well played.
So Darrell, how did you know that she was the one?
I mean, I let it slip through my hands one time, and I've always asked God if I get a second chance. I will not fumble this time.
Come on.
I'm gonna recover my fumble, and I'm gonna score. I'm gonna take this to the end zone. And hey, that was it. I almost missed out because we didn't get each other number at the club. For some reason, I had a headache. I stopped to go to pantry out on the interstate, and who I see parked beside me?
Me.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, right? I'm going to the store to get something for a headache, and
so
she rolled in the window and
don't say that. Don't say that part.
Don't give you the line.
No. But so we he knew I had a crush on him, but he wouldn't give me the time of day in high school.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that. I had to grow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So it definitely seems like it's one of those things where the timing was right, because even with us, like, we didn't know each other at all through high school. Until we started going to church together, that we met, and it had to be probably a good thing, because probably back in the day I would have been like, nah, bro, you ain't even. He would have been like, no, like, you know, other stuff. So it's so interesting that you guys had known each other all that time, but you went through all of that, like you going into the Navy, both of you getting married, and then it's like boom, and you guys knew almost like right away that
we did.
And what's crazy, you know, we was junior
class
favorites.
Yeah, we were. So
And
nothing came from that. Not even like y'all sitting on the car together in the parade. Like
no. He wouldn't give me the time of day. Now look at him. I can't keep him off me now.
Okay, so you guys have 3 children now, but before you guys had your son, Drake, how did you guys approach even introducing each other to your kids?
Okay, so I'll start first. So Morgan was born, so she was born in 2009. So she was about a year and a half old. Like I said, 2010, when him and I started talking. So it was, you know, this is mommy's friend, you know, but as soon as we made it official, that's as far as dating, that's when I introduced her, because like I said, I knew at that point that he was the one that I wanted to be with. So like I said, she's been knowing him since she was a year and a half. So it went from being Tucci to Pops, and that's what she calls him now. So for me, it was a no-brainer. Like I said, because I knew he was the one. Like I knew I wasn't gonna be out here after I got my divorce, you know, like dating this person and this person. When him and I started, you know, made it official, like I said, I knew. So yeah. So what about you?
And for me, I mean, it was the same. It was like, after my divorce, I never brought anyone around Breland. I mean, that was always my little ace boom coon. Like, if I had to bring somebody around, Bree had to be serious. And she was turning 5 that year.
Yeah.
And I was having her and my niece, I took them to the bowling alley in Athens for their birthday. And Nikki came with us, and that's when I was like, okay, it's time to introduce, you know what I'm saying, your future stepmom to, you know, to you, and we can go from there. And I mean, it was, like I said, it was a no-brainer. I couldn't write it no better than that. And I mean, she was a receptacle to a receptacle.
Receptive.
See, that's why I need her on my side. To it, and I mean, it was, like I said, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So what has worked really well for you guys in like blending your families together? Because even though like they were small, I had to know that there still had to be things that you guys had to kind of work through, right? Like even if, you know, Nikki, if you say, all right, you know, y'all sit down, or like whatever that is. So how did you guys really kind of make sure that you were blending well, if that makes sense?
So I think maybe I would kind of take it back to the challenges first, because I think, you know, going through those kind of helped us get to where we are today. So like I said, Bree was she's a daddy's girl, you know. So for me, I felt like when she was younger, like, and it may be wrong to say this, but I almost felt like we were kind of competing for his attention. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, that's her dad, you know, and you know, we had got married at that point. You know what I'm saying? That's my husband, that's her dad. So it was kind of hard at first, you know, because like I said, I did kind of feel like I was competing for his attention because she was so young, and you know that was her dad. And I had to basically grow up and say, okay, you know, like, she's not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere, you know, like, we're gonna be together, you know. So I just kind of had to have that self moment. And kind of once I did that, we had to bond, you know. And it was hard because when we married in 2012, you know, Bree, she stays in Georgia. So with us, with, you know, with me being in the military, you know, having to go, we were in South Carolina in Bluffton initially, then we went to Cuba, and now we're back here. It was hard to kind of develop that relationship with her, you know. I feel like, you know, at times, like, we would get close, and then, you know, like, we would probably, it was time for us to go. So that was like really difficult for my relationship and Breland's relationship, you know, because with Morgan has always been with me. So like, I felt like, I don't know how he feels. I felt like they kind of bonded from the jump, because she saw him every day. But like I said, for me and Breland, it took a little longer. You know, she's 16 now. And we have a great relationship. You know, I have a great relationship with her mom. I have a great relationship with her. And I just think that we didn't force anything, and it just took time. So yeah.
And with me and Morgan,
yeah.
Who can't love me? I'm always trying to make a joke, of course. So I mean, yeah. And that's what she loved. Like, she loves seeing that friendly face. I'm waking her up in the morning by tickling her feet, or, you know what I'm saying, just doing something, snatching the cover off her, and just being that male face that she's seen every day, showing that, you know, guys do come around and stick around. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm not her biological dad, you know what I'm saying, I'm still here to play that role.
Right.
And that, at this point, I'm not even playing a role. It's just me being Pops now. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So we definitely have that bond.
They do.
Yeah, it's amazing. And for us, like, the kids bonding, we just kind of let them play with each other, and they created their own relationship.
Yep.
So it wasn't nothing for us like, okay, y'all need to go and play. I mean, hey, if y'all don't get along with this part today, I mean, that's how our parents done us.
Right.
You're gonna sit with your siblings until y'all figure this out, and that's exactly how we done it.
Yeah. They have a great relationship. Yeah. You know, it can be kind of hard, and that's like another challenge, because, you know, just basically having to kind of split that time. So it's like, at times we may have Bree and Morgan may be with her dad, you know, and kind of vice versa. So that can kind of, it's hard now trying to get everybody together. Yeah. So we at least, I mean, we try, but, you know, it's hard, and especially with Breland being older, you know, like, she's looking at colleges now, you know, like, trying to get a driver's license, job, working and stuff. So it's hard, you know, just trying to get everybody together. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, they have a great bond. They do. Yeah. They fight. Yeah, they fight all the time. Yeah, they do. They do. So
I think, you know, for us, Lindra didn't have any kids, right? Mm-hmm. So I never wanted to be with somebody who didn't have children, because I'm like, they're not going to be able to relate to my life, right?
Yeah, I got you.
He's not gonna want to be going to Chuck E. Cheese or like doing none of that stuff, because he don't have no kids, so he has to take there. So like, him being with me, not having any kids, and then almost becoming like an instant dad almost, you know. And Jordan wasn't, how old Jordan would come around? He may have been about 8 when you came around, but like it didn't get serious.
Yeah, because I didn't know if I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, because I still had that. If I'm being honest, I didn't have any.
Yeah.
Kids. And I've had to do a lot of growing in the area because I knew it was a package deal. Like it's not just dating her. You know, Jordan comes with that and building a relationship with him, and then you get all of the horror stories or whatever, and the dreaded "you ain't my dad" thing, like all that's twirling, you know, in my head. So I had some reservations about it at first, but once I got in there and started trying to develop a relationship, it just kind of started rolling. It just started working out. It was work because Jordan, he's not a kid of many words, so you got to pull out anything that you get. I'm not the most talkative person either, so we would be in the car just riding, and you home, just simple, you know, just simple, no real dialogue, and it took a while. It took a while, but I think, you know, now we're in a, you know, great place, and then coming in too, where it's been him and mom, right? So having a house, and Tracy was a little softer on him, right? And it's like, right. So I have to, you have to be, because I know what growing up to be a Black man is. So I need you to understand that. So it's stuff that you try to instill in him. And it was just different. Like Tracy could say something, he fine. If she yell, he fine. If I raise my voice, a teardrop, and I'm like, I'm over there. So it's definitely it has its challenges for sure. But I've done a lot of growing in the area. He's made me grow up a lot. And I think one thing you said about the kid making you have to look in the mirror and look at your thoughts that aren't pure, or your thoughts that need some work. I've had to do a lot of growing, but it's made me a better man. Seriously.
Yeah. So you guys have almost 9 years of marriage coming up. So what do you guys do to keep your marriage good, to keep it healthy
with the kids? With the kids. That's the part, because a 15-year-old and
the baby about to be one.
That's a big age difference. So with the kids, it's just I mean, we do us. I mean, you know, we take them out and stuff. Like I said, just the challenge of not having Bree here, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest challenge. But whenever she's here and we do get a chance to do stuff together, like we have fun, you know, and it's just making sure that they know that, you know, they're loved. And I guess when it comes to disciplining them, it's being a united front. It's not, oh, well, I'm gonna go to my dad, or I'm gonna go to my mama, you know. It's basically us we have to be on the same page first. So that, like I said, just having fun with them, and just always letting them know, you know, like, we're gonna be together, you know, we're gonna work it out. You guys don't have to worry about, you know, divorcing, you know, just letting them know that they have a safe and 3 parents that love them, you know, whether it's me, you, and Morgan dad, or me, you, and Bree's mama. I mean, they have 3 parents each, you know, that love them. So
and also
go ahead, my man.
And also making sure they understand that no one is above each other. You know, they are all equal. You know, we're not going to treat this one no better than we treat this one. You know what I'm saying? So it's reassuring that at all times. So.
Exactly.
That's something I've been, because of course, you know, we had Lennox, who is
congratulations.
But my fear was, you know, I didn't want Jordan to feel like, just because I have a biological child of my own, that shifts his place in the dynamic of the family. So that was always a concern of mine, you know, even before we found out she was pregnant. So just trying to make sure that he understands that you're still the firstborn, you know, it's, you know what I mean? And then people, so I even have to correct people, like, oh, this is your first child? Like, well, technically it's my second, you know, just to make sure that even if he's not hearing this, that he understands and it's felt that his place didn't shift just because we have a baby between the two of us now. But it's, it takes a lot of, I think, for me, it takes a lot of thought, because it's not, it's all new. There's no handbook to it. And you know, and the other thing that you added, like, you know, I think a lot of times when people think about the step parent, or you don't have to look at it as replacing a parent or competing. It's all supposed to be a cohesive, you know, thing to where we're all on the same page, trying to get this child to be the best version of itself that it
exactly. Yeah. And I think also, I mean, not disrespecting, you know, like Morgan's dad, or not disrespecting Breland's mother, you know, like to that child. So that's something like that we've never done. You know, we would never do that, you know. And then just having that relationship with the, you know, like with her dad and with Breland's mom, I think that just makes it even better. I mean, everybody's not gonna have, you know, even just a cordial relationship, you know, like with their ex. But I feel like in some ways, like you have to, you know, you have to. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I think it's good when the children are able to see that, right? Because
definitely
carrying that stress, because it's like, well, my mom and my dad, you know, like they don't get along. So now, like, how am I supposed to respond in these situations, or, you know, like in these different settings or whatever. So I think it's really great that you guys have good relationships with the other parents, and that your children are able to see that, right? There's not all this drama and all this stuff going on, or, you know, oh, I heard, you know, them talking about you, mama, and they said
exactly.
You know, and I think that's really important, because like me and Jordan's dad, like, we don't necessarily, I don't call it a bad relationship, but I wouldn't say it's a good relationship either. It's just kind of there. You know what I mean? But I will be honest with Jordan about things when it comes to his dad, because I think that he's older, but I don't bash him in that way, right? Or like he doesn't hear, you know, me and Lindry conversations about, you know, what we think about whatever has happened or anything like that, because you have to have those boundaries, right? Like
exactly.
Your child, and at the end of the day, the goal is to make sure that you are loved and that you are cared for, right? And all
exactly.
We'll figure it out. That, you know, it's something that Jordan's 15, you know, and we still over there trying to figure it out. We haven't arrived at all, but I mean, I think that it's great that you guys have been able to do that.
Yeah. Definitely not running to Facebook every day. You know, like you can't do that. You know, like we have a lot of, I mean, we have good times, you know, we have bad times, but you know,
stays in the house.
Everybody's not gonna see that, you know. So yeah.
Man, one thing too, man. I know I may get in trouble for saying this.
Oh Jesus.
But I mean, you know, just being sure that you keep fam out of your, you know what I'm saying? Just keep some things in your household. You know, once you start bringing family into it, man, we can forgive and forget.
They won't.
No.
We will not.
They won't. Don't kill me, y'all, please.
They need that.
They need that. And I think sometimes too, you know, like it goes to show, like, sometimes with family, the intent, right? So like if your mama say X, right, the intent could be positive, right? But it may not necessarily come off in that way, right? And then it creates all this other stuff, because y'all have forgiven, y'all have moved on, y'all went through it, but then they're still very much upset about what you did to their child, what you did to their cousin, whatever it may be. So you definitely have to protect your marriage if you want it to work, because it ain't the answer.
Yep. Yeah. We don't say that D word over here. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys make like that commitment that like you were never gonna put that word like on the table in your vocabulary? Because when people get upset, they'll say stuff, right? So like I'm mad, right? So I'm gonna say this so I can kind of shoot you here, right? Because I know that's gonna hurt you if I say this. So did y'all say, we're not doing this?
No, we didn't, I don't think we made that commitment. But I mean, we've said hurtful things to, each other, but like, we know we don't mean it, and we always, we come back and, we apologize. And I think that's a part of marriage, that's being human, but like I said, I just think that I know that at the end of the day, like he stuck with me, no matter what we go through, like he's stuck with me. Right. So yeah.
Okay.
Like it's stuck the right word. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what advice would you guys give to someone, whether they are starting dating, marriage, whatever, we're trying to blend their family? Like, what advice would you give them?
I would say don't rush it. You know what I'm saying? Like Toot was saying, like let those relationships develop, and definitely being transparent, with the kids, being upfront, being honest about everything. And I think initially, like, you got to put the kids first, you know what I'm saying? Because that child may not be used to, like a step parent, so like you gotta take their feelings into consideration, and like I said, just being upfront, being honest, and not rushing those relationships. So yeah. What do you think?
You're right. There's nothing I can add nor subtract from that. So.
See?
And so what about marriage in general? Because I know you guys are coming up on 10, but you guys are committed. So what advice, do you guys have on just, things that maybe you've done to make your marriage, last, to keep it fresh, to keep it fun?
Yeah. So, well, like he was saying initially, don't have your family all up in your business, number one. Number two, don't always post everything on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And we make sure that we have time for each other, and then we also, nothing against, single people, but like our circle is like married couples, so we do a lot. We have like a big brother and big sister like across the street, we do a lot with them, and whether it's date night, once every 2 weeks or so. Like I said, just having that time for each other. Right. So we keep the kids out the bedroom, so so just still having that time for each other. Sometimes, well, I haven't done it in a while, but I used to write like little notes for him, and like put them in his lunch or whatnot. So yeah. Yeah. Yep. So yeah.
I always find them right before I'm about to throw my food away. I'm like, oops.
Yeah. And then just with too, like he keep me laughing, like he a clown, like he really is, like I can be mad and he come and just do something and I'm just like whatever. So yeah. So he always says like I'm uptight, and I feel like, he says I'm militant, but I feel like we balance each other, so yeah. He's the yin to my yang. I know that sounds corny, but yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's what I said, just overall, just making sure that, if you really trying to stay in that marriage, which I hope people are, like, just don't let it get old, because we found ourselves kind of just going through the routines like every day, and you gotta get out of that sometimes. Yes. Yeah. And like you said, you gotta find that balance. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a struggle for us since we had the baby. It it has changed like our lives, like
I'm sure.
and
Yeah.
it's been really different going from having a child that's independent, right? Now, a baby, but a baby that's like high maintenance as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm clingy with the baby, right? So like I always want him home when the truth is sometimes like he needs to go, right?
Yeah.
So we can have some time. And so now that he's turning 1, I need to do better to say at least once a month, okay, Lennox, go to your grandparents' house so that we sometimes during the week is work, come home, cooking dinner, bed, stuff, right? Like it's just very routine. So that we still feel really connected, like that needs to start happening.
Yeah. So one thing that I did want to say, so we got married in September, and I found out I was pregnant with Dre in October. So, just from, us thinking that, we are going to kind of, get married, kind of have, even though we had Morgan and Breland, that was definitely unexpected, so just having a new baby on top of a new marriage, like it was hard at first, it really was. So,
and on top of that, me moving to a new state, not having a job at the time, not knowing nobody where we was at.
Yeah.
It was.
That sounds tough. My goodness.
It was some shaky times.
Yeah. But we made it though, we prayed, we stayed prayed up, and, we communicated, we had that trust, and we made it. So, yeah.
Would you say our biggest challenge was when we was in Cuba?
Yeah, I think being in Cuba was hard too, because, we had Breland back in the States, and then Morgan initially, like she was here, she stayed in the States with her dad for like that first year. So so that was really hard for us,
and not being able to come home like we want to when that was a challenge. Hard. But we found, I think that's when we really start, I guess, spending more time with just us, because we had no other choice. I mean, you in a whole nother country.
Right. So I think that's when we really just, even though we were married, you know what I'm saying, just really becoming one. So yeah. It
was hard, but it was good.
Exactly.
Good for the marriage and everything.
And then of course we didn't have cell phones because we couldn't video chat back home with none of the kids, and it
was hard.
Yeah, when we finally got Wi-Fi and cable.
Tracy she wouldn't have made that.
Yeah, that would have been tough right there.
The baby in days at my parents' house, and I was like, all right, I
couldn't even sleep.
Let's just go get him, because I'm not about to be. My goodness.
I think I'm So you guys, thank you so much for coming on. I certainly appreciate it, and it was good to me. So I hope that everybody,
it was good.
They find that it was good, and they look at you guys and they take into consideration some of the things that you guys have done to maybe apply to their own lives, right?
Exactly.
Improve, how they're blending their family, or even how they're co-parenting, or whatever that may look like. So I definitely hope that people are blessed and encouraged by it. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe.